Okay, this is part 2 of my trip to the dentist. I have come out of the dentist. Just a checkup today, so no work done, although apparently I'm coming back to the dentist next week to get a filling, which I was kind of expecting from one spot on my teeth that was causing me some problems. So yeah. So here we go again, back the way we came, although I will vary it. Up here, it seems more direct, and I'm not going through there. I picked up a lot of mud. Somehow that looked dry when I set out into it, although it's quite clear from this direction that it's not dry. So I may do this again next week, but I doubt it. I didn't like showing up here sweaty, so next week I'll make sure I have a car when I come for my dentist appointment. Oh yeah, how did I think that was dry? Looking at it from this direction, it looked dry until you got in the middle of it, so that was foolish of me. There's always a puddle there because of where the tanks were when that used to be a gas station. Anywho, we will cross up here and then decide how we approach, perfect timing, the return trip. Could just go down and walk along the lake, and this is supposed to be my lake walk day. I would go that way, but there's no sidewalk, so it's kind of annoying. But of course, I'm repeating myself, so I guess I'll go this way. It was only a little while ago that I walked along this path for the very first time that I had ever done so. Yes, I got to the dentist. I was way sweatier than I would have liked to have been for something like that, so perhaps it wasn't the best choice to walk on a warm day. Actually feels less warm now, but there's just a hint of cloud cover, so maybe that makes the difference. So this is the tree plantation over here for the cities, where they around the city is required. And then if we keep going this way, we will come to the lake. And then it's just a question of how I walk from there to continue back home. Some very nice condos there. Building used to have the Saskatchewan Archives in it, and I'm not sure if it still does or not. I have a feeling they moved, but I'm not 100% sure. Crows. Smart Alex. Them and blue jays. I remember watching a group of blue jays basically bullying a gopher. They kind of surrounded him, and every time he went in one direction, one of them would run in and nip at his tail. They were just being real, like juvenile delinquent quote. Now that's actually a retirement kind of living facility. I knew somebody that lived there for a little while. It really looks nice. I've never been inside though. Now, they're supposed to be doing some more work in our backyard today on the deck we're getting built. It was halted very thoroughly by the inch of rain we had, which is why there's still water standing around in various places. Random geese. There are always geese. a feeling this is a fairly... Maybe that's why I've never walked along it until this summer. Maybe they only built it in the last year or two. There's your mosquito breeding grounds. These trees are interesting because they're different colored leaves, so they stand out from the crowd. It might be are they a willow of some sort? I think the direct route will be to go more or less along the lake like I normally do on Fridays. Solid hour walk by the time I get back. It was a little over 30 minutes walking, and it won't be any shorter going back, so the lake through the trees over there. Legislative building, always a landmark. So last time I was down this way, I walked the grass over here, but I've already done that. So today I will cross the intersection here and see where that takes us. Center of the Arts is over there. Science Center is off in that direction. Nobody coming. I can probably risk it. Now, do I go down and join the lake path, or do I walk along this sidewalk? I never walk along this sidewalk, so let's walk along this sidewalk, at least to start with. There's the lake, so I'm still kind of walking around the lake. Not really around the lake, alongside the lake. Not allowed to sleep over in the park, that sign said, or build a tent, or erect a tent, or have an open fire. No camping, in other words. Oops, the trees over there. So last time I walked this way, I did walk this way, but I was on that side in the grass. And then I went over into that area, but today I will stay over on this side. More geese, more puddles, more mosquito breeding grounds. Now, the puddles there may be a result of the rain, but also whenever they water the grass, they are reinforced puddles. It actually reminds me of Jurassic Park and the scene where they look out over the big open field and there's dinosaurs everywhere. Birds are dinosaurs, so, or direct descendants of them, so in a way, that's exactly what that is. And yes, they do cross the street and hold up traffic from time to time. I'll stay on this sidewalk as long as it exists, just because I don't walk down it very often. I don't think I've ever walked down it with the camera. parking lot, very popular parking lot for using the park and the lake. There's the lake right over there. I'll walk around it as usual again next Friday. Day was just a little different. That's Pine Island, which I went on to last Friday when I did my walk around the lake. Here, this sidewalk ends, I believe. Apparently the horizon, the gimbal has decided the horizon should be akimbo. It's an akimbo gimbal, or a gimbal akimbo.
Hello.
Hello.
India.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I just saw you. I was on the lake, so I thought that I'll give you a hi.
Oh, hi.
Thanks for making the vlogs. I was missing Regina when I was stuck back in India. Big dude.
That is cool. It's amazing, you know, that I can do this and people are watching it all over the world. It's amazing.
I love this city.
Well, thanks. Thanks for stopping.
Have a good one.
You too. That was cool. So he was watching it. When he was missing, he was watching my walks, and then he spotted me doing this, so he came by to say hi. That's cool. Alrighty. Now we will join the lake path because there's really no choice other than to keep walking on the grass, which I don't want to do because of the that didn't make sense. I don't want to walk in the grass because there's no sidewalk. Walk in the grass because it could be wet and there could be mosquitoes and things. How's that? That's better. Path, but I'll probably still vary it just around the lake. So maybe I'll go back over by Albert Street or something. Or not. After all, the gardens in front of the legislative building are only there so long, so I should walk through them while they're still at their peak. In a couple of months they'll be frosted and out of there. It's always hard to imagine that this time of the year, but it's true. Within 3 months, for sure, all the flowers will have frosted, and we'll be starting to look at possibilities of snow. Caragannans all have seeds on them. Earlier they had flowers. It's funny how that works. There's Wascana Rehab again. Somebody had, again, earlier asked if I would walk by it. Well, there it is. I didn't walk too close to it today, but I went by it twice. Going and coming. No. Look at that. I actually prefer walking around the lake in the winter. There's usually far fewer people on the path. And as I've established by now, I think, I like being alone on these things, but it's hard to arrange. And the lake is very popular, obviously. Followed that path too, but it's probably wet.
Good.
I don't know why people play their own music out loud to annoy everybody else, but at least his wasn't too loud. Nor did he, of course, mind me, except he was playing his music, so I guess it was good from that point of view. Oh, a lot of geese out today, fattening themselves up to fly south. again in a couple of months. That'll start happening, I would think. That'll be late September already. Geese everywhere. Everywhere, goose, goose. Here a goose, there a goose, everywhere, goose, goose. Old Wascana had a park, E-I-E-I-O. Oh. There, after looking at the geese. And E-I-E-I-O. Also, people tend to come out in the morning in the summer around the park because it's cooler, whereas in the summer, or in the winter, they tend to come out later in the day because then the sun is up. Well, let's go take a look at Spruce Island. I haven't been out to the overlook here for the last couple of walks, I don't think. There you go. Spruce Island, and there's downtown over there. The totem pole, which I went and looked at not too long ago. Somebody commented that it was there, and I said, yep, it is. And I went to look at it. And I will again, not today. I want to go home. I haven't done any work yet today, thanks to my dentist appointment. There's people in the trees doing this and that. I think I'll actually leave the path and take a slightly different approach, just because I'm not doing my usual lake watch. There's that horizon tilting now to the right. It is downhill to that direction, but not as much as that makes it look. I don't quite understand the traffic barriers keeping you from going under the bushes, but let's go out here. I don't go out here very often. And then we're going to go straight across the road here. So there is an outflow here. Down there. Or an inflow, I guess, not an outflow. Probably another aeration feature. Okay, let's go straight across now instead of going along the path. Go straight on over to Albert Street, cross wherever that makes sense. I'd like to go see if the pelicans are still there under the bridge. So that means crossing the bridge on the same side I crossed it when I came. Powerhouse. I don't know if it still generates electricity or not, but it used to generate electricity for the legislative building, I believe. And in my fantasy novel Magebane, which takes place in a fantasy version of Saskatchewan, landscape-wise, the equivalent to the legislative building is the King's Palace. And the way magic works in that world is you have to have a source of energy. It's essentially coal-fired and gas. You need to have a source of heat. And so there actually is basically a power plant attached to the palace. which provides the heat required for the mages to do magic. The bad guy lives somewhere where he has a natural gas torch burning all the time that he draws the heat from for the magic in his own domain. So, kind of cool, I thought. There is a bit of, it's a fantasy, but it's a bit steampunky too. There's an airship and that sort of thing going on. We only see a glimpse of it. I sure didn't want it, so I never have, but I still could. I think I went across what's essentially the southern United States. Southwestern United States. Got it written. See, that's what I'd really like to do with my remaining good years. It's just write my own stuff. But you know, there's still that necessity of making some money. And then I've got the publishing thing going, and it's a huge time sink as opposed to, you know, it takes up time that would otherwise be spent writing my own work. And I really enjoy the publishing, but I wonder if I've misfocused my efforts sometimes. So there's the Walter Scott building again. I walked by it going the other way, but now I'm going to go over to Albert Street. There's actually a crosswalk right here I can cross if I wish. It's not my favorite because there's no light, but it is a pedestrian crosswalk, so people are supposed to stop for you. Here on Memorial Way. On the other hand, it's sunny on the other side, so still, that's where all the interesting houses are. There's too many cars coming. I don't want to stop them. I'll walk down this way along the path, which I started down from the other end when I came this way. This is a shared use path. You actually are allowed to bicycle on it, it looks like. I was never sure of that. Whoops. That's the cord catching on my arm, and whoops. That's all of that is about the cord catching on my arm and messing up what the gimbal is doing. So I apologize for the jerkiness there. It's not that I'm a jerk. My technology is a jerk. Look at that, I did it again. That time it didn't seem to have anything to do with the cord. It's almost like the gimbal was running out of juice, but it's got lots. It's shadier on this side too. There's another reason to come down this side. So yes, this is Albert Street. It's the main north-south road through the city. Comes in off and goes out on Highway 11. There's a Highway 6 to the south, and then I guess it's Highway 6. And then you can join Highway 11, the north end, which is the one that takes you up to Saskatoon. Ready for more coffee when I get home. Yeah, I do have to go back for a filming next week. And I hate that because, of course, it means, well, no lunch is what it means because I'm having it at 10:30 in the morning. And I'll be frozen, so a portion of my mouth will be frozen. Not sure what that honking was about. I didn't see anything that should make anybody honk at anybody. Maybe they were honking at you to be sure You heard them. Somebody did that yesterday. I'm sure they were honking because they saw me with the camera. That's a nice house. Never been in it, but I've seen pictures. So maybe this intersection will time out well for crossing the street. Still shows green going this way, so if that lasts, it might be perfect for crossing. Time I get across, there shouldn't be much time left. This is the road again that goes right in front of the legislative building over there. They're going to have to wait, it looks like. It'll be a very long light. There's the legislative building again over there. Avenue. I had no idea that cyclist was there either. Again, no warning bell. Hi, Ahmed. I thought I'd get here. There'd be just about time to change. It's a really slow light. Should have gone on down to the next one, probably. It changes more often. I bet you that honk was for your benefit, too. This is ridiculous. Getting to think it's not going to change. Well, now there it goes. Boy, that was a it was a long wait considering how long it was green before I even got here. Yeah, would have been better off going on down to the far more frequently because it's a busier intersection. All right, we will go on. Hello, Roshan. Sorry, my eyes. Dubai. Oh. Well, a little earlier, if somebody stopped to say hi to me that had seen me walking and knew who I was because he had watched my walks from India. He was living here, but he was back in India and he missed Regina, and so he found my walks. And so he stopped to say how much he appreciated them, so that's kind of cool. Well, I won't talk about how hot it is here if you're from Dubai. It's actually not hot at all right now. They're doing something to that old house, clearly. Nice prairie lilies. That's the provincial flower there, those tall lilies there. I think it's going to 27 today, which is not particularly hot. It was 30 a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago maybe. So, the hottest it's ever been here, I mean the record temperature for Saskatchewan was set back in the 30s, and it was, what would that be in Celsius? Must have been about, let me think, would have been about 43, I guess. Well, maybe more like 44 or 45, maybe even higher. It was 114 degrees Fahrenheit, and I should be able to do that in my head, but it's hard when I'm walking. Anyway, that's the record hot day for Saskatchewan. Set in Mydale back in 37, I think, during the Dust Bowl years. Great drought of that decade. But most years you'll get temperatures up around 37 or 38 one or 2 days is all. So around 100 Fahrenheit. Briefly though, it's unusual for us to have a really long heat wave, though it can happen. But even then the temperatures are more in the high 30s for a heat wave here. So we don't break 40 very often, but it has happened. And of course in the other direction it goes to minus 40, so it's an extreme climate. There's the lake, which I did not walk by today like I normally do. But let's see if the pelicans are still here. Oh, well, the ones I saw earlier don't seem to be as many of them. Oh, they're down here. They're just more. There we go. There's some rocks there they can stand on, and they catch the fish that are coming over the dam here. I'll even focus on them a little tighter there. So that's kind of cool. There's usually a couple there, but it's unusual to see this many. And there, of course, is the creek. How to get it to focus down there now. There we go. Still flying the Canadian flag since it's July, and July 1st was Canada Day. That'll probably change in August to something else. I don't know how they decide. There must be some sort of procedure where you can request flags flown on the Albert Street Bridge and it has to be approved by the city. Or else there's just somebody in the city that decides what they're going to do. I don't know. The gimbal, come on gimbal. It's really acting up today. I don't know why. Doesn't want to keep pointing straight ahead. Yeah, well, it does. It all goes back to the wired mic that I'm using. Unfortunately, my wireless mic, last time I tried it, quit halfway through the walk, so even though it was fully charged. So even though I prefer it, I can't trust it. And the wired mic, which is ugly and cheap, works like a charm, so why would I change? Speaker's corner over there. Our familiar corner, if you've walked with me before. Just a couple of more blocks to go now. I'm not quite as hot as I was when I got to the dentist. I walked very briskly over there because I knew I was running late. A little more leisurely coming back. I'm sure the speed of my walking was one reason it seemed hotter going than it does now, even though it's probably warmer air temperature wise now than it was then. Dead end, no thoroughfare. Now, I'll get home and see if they're doing anything. They were supposed to be doing some work about 9:30 while I was at the dentist, so I'm going to see if that's been done. I didn't get any frantic calls telling me something had gone horribly awry, so hopefully it's all good. There's the nice garden at the end of the boulevard here that's done by local residents. Dressed it up. This is Angus Boulevard. 2 houses for sale here if you're looking. This one is for sale. And the one next to it is also for sale. That's probably really nice inside, but I don't much care for the face it presents to the street. I kind of like this one with the awning. Our house used to have an awning on it. All of these probably did, especially before air conditioning, to help keep it cooler. I wouldn't mind putting it back on the front of the house if we ever get to that point of renovation, but at our pace and the cost of everything, that's pretty far down the list. We do need to do stucco repair and paint on the outside and landscape. We desperately need new grass in the front, and to do something with our flower beds. But I've never been a gardener. Nobody in the family is a gardener. My mom had arthritis, so she wasn't going to garden, and in any event, she grew up on a farm in Missouri, and she said that she had to garden. It was part of her chores. And once she got off the farm, she had no desire to keep doing gardening. Too much like work. Like high school students enjoying their summer day off. So it was just never something I did or was exposed to as a kid as wanting to do, and so I certainly wasn't going to start doing it as an adult. We do grow some years, a few herbs and things like that we can use. How are you? Hello. Okay, we will stop here, and that's that. I'll put the two together for the full recording, which will be well over an hour. So thanks for walking with me. I don't know if I'll walk tomorrow or if I'll walk Sunday, or both, but probably over the weekend. But anyway, bye.